Thank you all for joining. Very much looking forward to today's office hours session. Today, I am joined by Levante, who's a member of our customer success team. He's one of our terrific customer success managers here at Prokeep. And Levante works day in and day out to ensure that each and every one of his distributors is able to realize the maximum amount of value and benefit from our product and our solution. So a couple of quick housekeeping items before we begin today's session. All attendees are muted upon joining. However, you are absolutely welcomed and encouraged to submit questions into Zoom using the Q&A function that you can see at the bottom of your Zoom screen. We'll be taking time towards the end of today's session to answer and address each of those questions. Additionally, all attendees, when a question is submitted, can vote on them. So the more votes that a question receives, the higher up the list it will go, which will in turn ensure that myself and or Levante take time at the end of today's session to get you an answer to that question. And then lastly, the webinar itself is recorded, and we will be sharing that recording as well as the slides that we present today to all attendees following the session. You can expect to receive that in your email inbox roughly 2 to 3 days after today's session. So with that, I will go ahead and turn it over to Levante. Levante, thank you again for taking time to spend with our audience today, and very much looking forward to what you have to share.
Awesome. Thank you, Josh, for that. And thank you all for joining us today as we take a quick walk through Prokeep to become a little more efficient and proficient here. First, we'd like to go over some of the top values of Prokeep and values that you can expect to get out of Prokeep. So increased sales, improved customer experience, as well as the experience that you all will receive, and then greater productivity and visibility. Now for increased sales, sending quotes or for orders via text. What this will do is, again, allow you all to put that communication right in front of the customers. They'll be able to see, again, text are read at a 96% read rate, so customers will be able to receive those quotes and inquiries and questions and any kind of information that you would send over right there via their cell phone, creating upsell opportunities. You'll also be able to identify opportunities via your orders in your phone, where you can text to customers and take advantage of those upsell opportunities there. Improved customer experience. So sending and receiving photos of order lists, parts, or whatever the case may be. But when you're sending those photos, that's going to allow to have a little more accuracy with the ordering, and allow you all to have a better experience as you navigate through that. It'll eliminate some tough conversations as well. Keeping customers aware with order updates. This is definitely a big one. Being able to keep customers updated. Again, they'll have access to those updates right there on their phone, and also allow you to have that visibility of a history of the updates as well. And then eliminate hold time for customers. Definitely want to free up those phone lines and avoid having the customers have to hold when it gets busy. And that right there is going to definitely improve the customer experience. Greater productivity and visibility. So conversation history is saved and organized. That conversation history is going to be important for visibility. You'll be able to go back and see what you and the customer were speaking about, what's going on with the order, etc. But having all that saved, you'll be able to, even if it's as far as a year back, being able to know kind of the ordering history and what the customer wants and needs. Faster replies for pickup, delivery, order confirmation. This right here will be crucial for being efficient, replying to the customers, getting them taken care of. And what that will do is, again, leave a good impression on that customer as you keep them updated or on deliveries or orders or whatever the case may be. And then scheduling and confirming upcoming deliveries. So Here, you'll again have that visibility to be able to see what's going on with your orders as well as the customer, but just being able to be more productive, and doing more things again as you have the fast replies and you schedule these deliveries, and letting the customer know the customer has visibility as well as you, on all updates there. Now, as we navigate through Prokeep today, so our goals are going to be to ensure you understand the purpose of Prokeep and how it works. We will review the essential features of Prokeep in the platform. And once we're all done, we'll make sure that we go over how you can set your personal preferences to your liking. Now, how distributors use Prokeep. Here, I'm going to walk you through a couple of examples of how Prokeep is being used via some slideshows or screenshots, and we will tackle those values that we just went over as well and how they are being used within Prokeep. So here we have Mr. Walton has sent in a picture, and he got a bad water pump, sent in a picture, and now what this has done is saved us time and it's improved our order accuracy because we know exactly what part we're looking at, and also the fact that he needs an oil filter with that. We've been able to improve our efficiency, and we have a better experience for the customer. Here we have a list order, a picture of a list order. And I know you guys probably have to grab a notepad and jot this down if you're on the phone with a customer or type it into your computer. This right here is going to save you time, and as well as make sure you're preventing errors. You can, instead of, you may accidentally type a 3 instead of a 2. You don't have to worry about that here. And you also have the history from this picture that you can always refer back to. And it's also creating an upsell opportunity here. You can see what the customer is ordering, what's typically ordered with those parts, and definitely approach the customer with that. And the values that we've touched here are better customer experience and improved efficiency. Here we have Mr. Walton here, who just had trouble with a part he got yesterday and would like to get a diagram for wiring it, right? So definitely save time by sending this picture. We know exactly what he needs the diagram for. It improves troubleshooting and definitely reduce returns. You can, instead of him trying to return it and get one that's wired correctly, we can definitely save that by getting him a diagram to where he can get that wired. And the values we've covered here are improved efficiency and better customer experience. And for the last one, we have an order update. Here, this is going to save time and create upsell opportunities by just sending the customer, Mr. Ziegler here, letting them know his order's ready, where to pick it up at, and also throwing in a quick upsell opportunity here that you typically may not have that opportunity otherwise. If you're on the phone or trying to get in touch with them, now you have the opportunity to do that. The value that we created here is improved productivity and better customer experience. Perfect. So now, as we get ready to hop into Prokeep and go over some of the top use cases and how Prokeep is used, there's some ABCs for success, and these will definitely be crucial to having success with Prokeep. So just some ABCs for you guys to watch out for as we go through Prokeep. A is going to be always capture names for contact creation. Definitely want to make sure you're keeping that contact information updated so that way you can have that history, that contact history. So you want to create a contact history so you can take care of the customers, but if the contacts are not updated and created, you would not be able to have a history of what's been going on with that customer. B is going to be proactive by sending outbound messages. Definitely want to be proactive when sending outbound messages. You all have a great tool here to communicate with your customers, but the best way to get a customer texting you is going to be to start by texting them. So being proactive with your outreach and staying ahead of things. And C will be claim and close threads. You definitely want to claim and close your threads in a timely manner so we can leave that impression, that good impression on the customer. Hey, your message has been claimed. Customer will be notified once it's been seen, right? And then you close those threads in a timely manner as well, because when those threads are closed and the customer reaches back out, it will get back to that shared inbox for everyone to see and be able to take care of that customer. Sweet. Now to using Prokeep. I will hop into my personal sandbox here with Prokeep. So here is your home page. This is the screen that you will see once you are logged into Prokeep. Now, um, there is multiple ways that you will be notified that a message has come through. As you can see, we just got one. You can see the audio notification. So if you have your speakers turned up, you'll receive a chime that'll let you know there's a message in the inbox, as well as if you have Prokeep running in the background, like, and you're in something else like your email, you'll receive a slide in tab in the bottom right corner here that will also let you know there's a message in the inbox. And the third way will be, of course, visual. You can see that we have a circle here with a number in it, letting us know how many messages are in that inbox. So as I click on this message, that's going to pull it up. And what I like to do at this point is pause and make sure this is a legit message from a customer. Just like your personal cell phone, you can receive spam. And in the case that it is spam, something from your local pizza place or local car dealership, you can just come to the top, hit block, and you'll be able to block that number from sending in any messages moving forward. Now, I do see that this is a legit message for a customer. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and claim this thread as my own. And once I claim it, you'll see that the customer's been notified that their message has been seen and that Levante has read their message. So now they know that I'm helping them. And it's also moved from the inbox tab to the open tab here. Now, best practice number one of the first things we want to do is figure out who we're speaking with. We definitely want to keep that contact information updated. So customers asking for 2 electric motors. First thing I'm going to find out is who am I speaking with. I have 3 preset replies here, and one of them is who am I speaking with. I can go and type it here, whom I have the pleasure of speaking with. I'm going to go ahead and use one of those preset replies and send that so I can get the contact information and we can update that. And again, as we wait for the customer to let us know who it is or whatever the case may be, we can multitask here. This is where you guys can become more productive and you can be taking care of something else. You'll be notified once the message comes back through, and then you can start helping that customer. And it looks like we have Dwight Schrute here. So what I'm going to do is come up to the top and create the contact, and we'll put Dwight's information in here. So Dwight Schrute, and the rest of the fields are optional. I do recommend always adding a company. I do happen to know that Mr. Schrute works for Dunder Mifflin Supply. So I will go ahead and put that there. Sorry about that. So create new company there. So now we have Dunder Mifflin Supply in there. And also another thing you all can do is add a label. So if you know that this customer is, it could be a VIP HVAC, but what this is going to do is allow you to associate contacts with a certain label, whether they could be a plumbing customer, HVAC customer, a VIP customer. And I'm going to go ahead and put Dwight Schrute here as VIP because I'm sure that's the level he would think he is at. And then I'm going to go down, and whenever you're creating a contact, you have a welcome message box here. And if you hover over it, it'll let you know, it'll show you what you're sending. It's basically letting you know, hey, texting has been enabled. You can now send text and pictures to this number. I'm going to uncheck that because the customer is aware of that because he's already texted in. And once I hit submit, you'll see the customer name and company name at the top. So anytime this customer texts in, I'll know who I'm speaking with. Right. And so now what I'm going to do is go ahead and take care of the customer. He needs 2 of these electric motors. He sent a picture in. It's upside down. I can rotate that upright, and I can also zoom in or out if I need to see that model number or something in particular. But this one here is sorry about that. Let me get this. Show self view. Something like that. So this one here is a pretty easy one. So I'll go ahead and let the customer know that we have one in stock at 1,500. And I'll send that and I'll send that and let the customer now knows we have one in stock at 1,500. And I also have the option of sending a bigger file, like a Word document or a PDF file. I can just come to my the paper clip here, and I have a diagram here of an exploded view that I'm going to shoot over to them. Just letting them know how that would be connected if he wanted to go forward, right? So now I've let the customer know, I've added the contact history, contact information, let the customer know what we have in stock, and kind of left it in his court there. And what I'm going to do now is show you. So we also have another icon down here, templates. And what this icon here does is allows you to do some effortless messaging. So you can come in here. I have 3 templates set up. It's for delivery complete, order ready, or request details, right? So I can quickly put that in there. It would add the customer name as well as the location name with that message, so to let the customer know. So I have that template and I'll send them order ready if he decides to go forward with it once it's ready. Now, next thing I'm going to show you is if we come up to the top here, you can add a tag. And what the tag is going to do, that could be like a reference number or a way for you to reference this order whenever you need to pull it back up. So I'm going to put the PO number on it, PO 1234, enter, and I've now tagged it. So when I'm ready to pull this order back up or something, maybe a month from now, I can type in the PO number and I'll be able to get right to it. You can also add multiple tags. So if it's part of your summer sale, you can put that there. Or if it's part of a VIP order, you can put that there as well. And now Mr. Schrute has said, thanks, please order a second motor and let me know once it has arrived. Perfect. So once I get that, I can let them know that the order is ready. Now, best practice number 2 is going to be best practice number 2 is going to be closing this thread. And what that's equivalent to hanging up the phone. So once I close this thread, you'll see the conversation move from the open tab to the close tab where it essentially lives forever. Now, very important that you close that thread, because if Mr. Schrute texts back in and say I'm unavailable, out for the day or in a meeting, that message will go back to the shared inbox and anyone would be able to pick that message up and continue helping Mr. Schrute. But if I don't close that thread, it'll just come back to my open inbox and I will be the only one notified that Mr. Schrute is text back in. So very important that we make a good habit of closing our threads when we're done helping our customers. That's going to help us cross our T's and dot our I's there. Now, I don't have to wait for Mr. Schrute to text back in. I can be proactive and text him. I'll come up to the messaging icon, get into create mode, and I'll click on the message here. And now that I have them in my contact list, I can just search for him, Dwight Schrute, and I can go ahead and let them know order is ready. And I'll use this order ready template. As you can see, name and location is populated. Send that to them. And now we have order ready sent to Dwight Schrute. Now, next thing I'm going to do is transfer this thread to my teammate who's going to make sure that he's ready to go. And Prokeep has made it very easy to transfer a thread to a teammate who may be a little more insightful on helping that customer, or it just may be in his area now. So I'll come up to the three dots here, transfer, and I'll search for my teammate. I got Jazzy Jeff here, and I'm going to send it to him and let him know Mr. Schrute will be in later. And now here you have a box for keep me in the loop. And what that is doing is turning the notifications on for this thread. So let's just say this is something very important you want to keep your eye on. You'll check this box, keep me in the loop. And every time my teammate Jazzy Jeff and Mr. Schrute text back and forth, I will be notified that a message has come through. And I can also chime in, so it would make it a three-way conversation as well. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer this to Jazzy Jeff. And this is again still in my open tab because I have my notifications on and I can still see the full conversation. I just hit load previous thread and I can see everything that's going on, and Jeff will be able to do the same. And now if this is, for instance, something you don't need to keep your eye on, you want to turn notifications off, Jeff can handle it. I can click that and that would turn notifications off. And as you can see, I will no longer receive notifications on this thread. And again, I'm done helping the customer. So I'm going to go ahead and close this thread as if I'm hanging up the phone. Now we just went over receiving a message, proactively sending a message, and transferring a message. So now you guys will be able to definitely streamlined your communications with your customer there. Next, I'm going to show you the contact list. This is where all of your contacts will live. As you can see, once you click on a contact, you can see all of their details. You can click threads. You can see their labels here as well down at the bottom. If you labeled them, you can tab over the threads and you can see your full conversation history here from the beginning. And you also have an activity tab where you can log any other activity. So if the customer came by for an in-person visit or made a phone call, you can log that as well. And also on the contact list, you can see a company. So you'll be able to, I can click on Dunder Mifflin Supply and I can see all of their details. I can click the pencil here and edit that information. And then you can click contacts and you can see all their contacts. So if Schrute wasn't available and we had other contacts in here, I could reach out to another contact there for Dunder Mifflin Supply. And then as well as threads, you can see your full history with the whole company here whenever there is more history there. And on the contact list, you can also search for a team member. So you can come over here. I can click on Jazzy Jeff. In the middle, it will have our full conversation history, all of our DMs right here in the middle. And on the right side, there's a contact card for Jazzy Jeff where I can start a message from him directly from that contact card as well. And for contacts, you can also create a contact by hitting this plus sign here, and you would do it the same way I added Mr. Schrute in earlier and save that. Now, next, we're going to go to our search menu here. This is going to be the best way to search for anything Prokeep related. I can search directly for a contact, Dwight Schrute here, and it'll bring his contact card up, as well as anytime he was mentioned in a thread, it will bring that up. I can also search directly for a company. So Dunder Mifflin Supply here, bring up their contact card. And if they have more members, it would bring up all the members of their company as well. And you can also be very specific and search for specific text and thread. So if I search for that 1500 I spoke about, it will bring me right to that sentence in the thread. And that's going to be the best way to search for anything Prokeep related. Now, next, we will go down to settings. And in our settings, first you come to my account. This is where you can edit or update anything on your profile, as well as update or change your password here. Preferences. First, you have stock messages. These are those 3 preset replies that I used early to ask who am I speaking with. Here's where you would come to edit those to your liking. Next is going to be notifications. This top notification is going to be your audio notification, letting you know that there's a message in the inbox, and you can set that to a jingle or a blip, and you can select the interval of how often you want it to come through the speakers. And down at the bottom, you have email notifications, and you can set up an email notification for any of the following 2 instances. So if you have an unclaimed thread, message sitting in the shared inbox, no one has claimed it, you can have Prokeep send you an email after the time you select here, then you know that, hey, there's a message sitting in a shared inbox. And also, if you have an unread message, so if you have an open thread that you didn't close, customer text in, you don't do anything with that message for 15 minutes or whatever time you select here, Prokeep will shoot you an email letting you know, hey, there's an unread message in your open inbox. And next, we have support and feedback. This is going to be equivalent to pressing this question mark here as well. But here's a phone number and email for our support team, as well as a link to the Help Center. So if you click this Help Center link, it will bring you to this prokeep.com search page, where first you can see you have some tabs here for if you have any technical issues, getting started, marketing materials, settings, tips and tricks videos, or just how to use Prokeep. But what I want to show you is if you come to the search bar and type in auto, scroll down just a little bit and you'll see automate your Prokeep daily login. And if you click on that, you'll see there's 2 steps here that will allow you to set Prokeep up to automatically start when you start your computer up every day. So step 1 is just showing you how to add it as a desktop icon. And then step 2 is how to get the auto open to come up. So Prokeep, when you turn your computer on, Prokeep will be running in the background. And that'll be a good way to make sure you guys are logged in and receiving your notifications once messages start coming through. Just one less step you have to do in the morning. And last but not least is our feedback section. This is where you will type in anything that you're liking, anything that you'd like to see better, but really any input that you give us helps us build a better product for you. And that does conclude our platform on the member level. And now we will go back and just to kind of review some of the key things I went over there as far as templates. Keep in mind, you can create a template. Admins and managers can put templates in there, but anyone will be able to use those templates. You can set up your top 3 templates in settings. And again, that's going to be effortless messaging, things that you find yourself always sending to customers, order updates, or whatever the case may be. Next is going to be tags. You can add a tag such as a PO number to a conversation. That's going to be a reference number of how you want to reference that conversation in the future if you need to. So again, PO number. It can be a summer sale, part of the summer sale, or it can be to yourself, to an individual if you'd like. Hey, this is Levante's customer. I'm going to tag this as Levante customer so everyone knows I need to handle this or something similar to that. You can assign contact labels. Again, VIP, cash only, whatever the case may be there, but that's going to allow you to associate that contact with a certain label. Could be an HVAC customer, could be plumbing customer, but that's going to allow you to associate those contacts. And then last, you can use internal messaging to transfer a conversation to a coworker. So again, this is where we're trying to bring it full circle and have that centralized communication. You can communicate with your coworkers, whether it's just, hey, did you see this? Or sending this to you, can you help me out with this? What would this consist of? But you can definitely communicate here internally with your customers. And now we will go ahead and queue up our Q&A session, and I will let Josh take the questions.
Great. Thank you very much, Levante. Appreciate the overview of some of the essential features of Prokeep. Looks like we just received our first question from Duncan, which is regarding Prokeep Pay, also and now currently known as Prokeep Collect, which is the ability to send payment requests via Prokeep. Duncan, Prokeep Pay is formerly what Prokeep Collect, which is what it is now known as, is available and ready for use. So if you do have the desire and the ability to request payments and the ability to send a payments link to your customers, you can absolutely use Prokeep Collect to do just that by sending them that text message with that link to your payments portal. So that way they can pay any sort of outstanding invoices or purchase orders. If you have any questions about that, further, I'll be sure to connect with your customer success manager for your account. So that way they can reach out and discuss that in greater detail with you and help ensure that that's a good fit for you and your business. Great. We have another question from Brett. Thank you, Brett. So Brett has a question about templates. Can you share an example? You may have missed it. So Brett, we did cover templates earlier. Happy to go back and reconvene on that. So a couple things to note here about templates is that every individual user within Prokeep has the ability to use templates, but only certain users have the ability to create templates. But Levante, I'll go ahead and allow you the opportunity to take over and walk us through what it looks like to both use a template and then the specifics of who can and can't create those templates.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yep. So here I am sending a message back to Dwight to let him know that his order is ready. And this is going to be the template icon here. And once I click there, I have 3 templates that's already been loaded up. So admins and managers will be able to add those templates and get them loaded to Prokeep. But again, anyone will be able to use them. And and I can show you in settings in just a second how you can set up your top 3. So here I have my order ready template. I'll click there, and there are tokens in there. So as you can see, Dwight's name was populated in there, as well as Atlanta location for Prokeep Champ. So the location was populated as well. And just letting them know his order is ready for pickup. Please reply to this message if you need anything else. And once I hit send, that message will go to Mr. Schrute there. And that's how we'll use templates. And you also have that option when you're just already in a message. Down here, you'll see the template icon next to the attachments and next to the emojis. And if I come to settings here, under preferences, I have templates all the way to the right. And here, if there's 10 templates loaded up and I know there's only 3 I use or the top 3 I use, I can just set them up in order. Delivery complete, order ready, or request details, and I can save that there. But this is where all of the templates will show up for you.
And Levante, going back to what you mentioned earlier about the creation of those templates being specific to admins and manager level users, would they also go into their specific settings page to create these templates so that way these other folks can select them like you've shown here?
Yes, yes. Admins and managers will have a tab on the left that says templates, and that's where they'll be able to click on that, and then it'll just be add new template, and they'll be able to create those templates there.
Perfect. Thank you, Levante. Hope that helps answers your question, Brett. So we have another question from John. Will there be weekly/monthly trainings, and will this video be able to be rewatched? Yes, John. So these office hour sessions are held every month on the final Thursday of the month at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Additionally, they are always recorded, as well as the deck is provided with the recording after the session has concluded, typically about 2 to 3 days. So you can usually expect to receive the recording and that slide deck the following Monday or Tuesday after the session has concluded. And then Brett has another question about templates. Love how much Brett is interested in templates. It's a great time-saving feature here. So can a template include an image if they wanted to add that to said template? So Brett, with templates, it is a text-based template that can be tokenized. As Levante mentioned, for example, we can have it automatically populate the first name of the customer, the last name of the customer, the specific branch that we're messaging from, and so on and so forth. You don't necessarily have the ability to add an image to a template. However, what you can do, and Levante, if you maybe wouldn't mind demonstrating this while I speak, you do have the ability when you go to send your message after you have selected the specific template that you want to send to that customer to attach a file of your choice, be it an image or a PDF or whatever the case may be. So we could do two things in that scenario. We could absolutely go and craft a message to our customer, Dwight, use a template to pre-populate all of the texts that we want to send to him without having to type anything out and therefore saving us time. And before we hit send, we would then be able to attach that file or that image as well. You're very welcome, Brett. Appreciate the question. All right, so it looks like we've gotten through the entirety of our questions for the moment. Just in case it's helpful to the audience, there are a few questions that I have found that do typically come up beyond what we've received today in prior office hours sessions. Levante, would you mind taking just a quick moment to show our audience, in case we have any folks maybe coming in from the French Canadian provinces, how it would be that they would go about changing the language that is displayed within Prokeep?
Absolutely. So I'll come to my settings tab here and under preferences, and we can go to language here. And this is where you will see, you can select English, French, or Spanish. And now keep in mind that does not translate the messages, but it does change the interface language here.
Beautiful. Yeah, I appreciate the call out there as well as far as the translation piece. So while we won't necessarily be able to in Prokeep automatically translate a message, say from French to English or Spanish to English, for instance, if you are in another country outside of the United States where maybe French is the most commonly spoken language or your preferred language of choice, we do have the ability to make that reflected within Prokeep so that way you don't have to mentally translate that yourself as far as how you use the solution. Another question that I find that we do get a fair amount, Levante, is going back to the ability to stay on top of our messages that have come into our inbox, right? Maybe it's a very busy day. We maybe have a big sale or a promotion or an event going on within our branch or across our company, which is the ability to receive those email notifications. Do I have the ability, Levante, as a Prokeep customer, when using Prokeep, to not only be notified about unclaimed threads, but also messages that haven't been responded to? Is that correct?
Yes, yes. So you will have be able to be notified about messages that haven't been responded to. So if we come to preferences here, again, this is going to be your email notifications and admins. This is your email notification. So you turn it on, you'll be able to be notified when you have an unclaimed thread as well as an open message, a thread in your open inbox.
Perfect.
And admins and managers do have access to turn on a return to inbox feature, where if you get a message in your open thread, open tab, and you don't do anything with it for a certain amount of time, it can go back to that shared inbox. But that will be an admin and manager's feature there.
What would be the purpose of that particular feature as far as return to inbox is concerned? What does that do for our customers at Prokeep?
Yeah, so if I'm in a one-on-one conversation with Mr. Schrute and he texts me and he needs something right away, well, it don't even have to be a one-on-one conversation. He needs something right away. I'm in a meeting. I don't see it within 10 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever time we've set, it will go back to that shared inbox so the rest of the team can see it and have visibility, and someone can pick it up and help them. Even if they're just letting Mr. Shroot know, hey, Levante's busy. He said he's going to get with you as soon as he's out of this meeting. But it's to make sure that everyone has visibility and we're not letting messages sit too long. And then because if a message sits too long, what they're going to do, they're going to pick up the phone, they're going to call. Their experience has with texting has gone down at that point. So that's going to make sure that we're not leaving any messages out there too long, leaving any customers hanging or anything like that.
Right. Yeah. Or furthermore, it may even, hopefully not, but it could potentially cause that customer to take their business elsewhere as well, which we want to certainly avoid. So it sounds like it's a great feature for our admins and managers to configure and ensure is enabled. So that way, if an employee maybe forgets to close that thread after they've claimed it and had that interaction with that customer, we don't have to worry about it sitting and potentially causing that negative experience, and hopefully not, but potentially also causing them to take their business elsewhere. Is that right?
Correct.
Perfect. And then last but not least, Levante, another question we do typically see in our office hours sessions is if you could just go back to the inbox screen for me. And the main page here is earlier I saw that you had added that PO number to that conversation with Dwight, with Mr. Schrute. Is that something that can be searched for in Prokeep, or how would I maybe go about locating that in the most quick and easy way possible?
Absolutely. So in the search bar, again, we'll come here and I can just type in PO 12. I don't even have to type the whole thing in. Hit enter, and you'll see right there, it brings me directly to that thread where I tagged it as PO 1234.
Fantastic. So just another great example of an easy, quick way to find prior conversations, right? Maybe your customer can't remember the specific part that they had requested 6 months ago, or maybe you're having a situation with a customer where they feel that the price has significantly increased from what they remember paying for it just a week ago. You can always refer back to these with a quick search in Prokeep because it is all captured and documented because it is a text-based conversation instead of a phone call. We do have one more question from Brett. By all means, Brett, if you have more questions, don't hesitate to keep them coming. So last question, it looks like from Brett is, will we be having any sessions on using Prokeep for marketing purposes, best practices, etc.? Yes, absolutely, Brett. We've actually had a session, a webinar, I believe it was earlier in the month of July or late June, which was specifically around broadcast text messaging, which is a feature in Prokeep that allows our customers to send messages to a one-to-many audience. So you could send out promotional or informational messaging to your customer base. Maybe you want to communicate to them about an upcoming sale or a promotion. Maybe you want to communicate with them about an upcoming event, like a dealer day, for instance, that you're having. Broadcast text messaging is a great example of the way in which you can do that in, again, a one-to-many capacity by sending hundreds or thousands of messages to your audience. That particular webinar that I referenced is available and was recorded, and I'll make sure, Brett, to include that to you in an individual email separately after this call. And then we do continue to have more and more of those sessions. So the best way to keep informed about any of our upcoming sessions is we do send out a monthly newsletter to all of our customers. And that particular topic that's coming up around marketing through Prokeep will also be called out in that newsletter. So just keep your eyes peeled for that. Well, assuming we have no other questions that the audience has, I appreciate everyone's attendance, time, and attention today. I hope you found that this was an informative and educational, beneficial session. If you do have any needs or further requests, Levante, if you wouldn't mind just going one more slide forward for me here. You do absolutely have the availability of a few different resources called out on this screen. You're welcome to email our support team, support@prokeep.com. Additionally, their contact information, as Levante showed earlier, can be found within Prokeep either by selecting that question mark in the lower left-hand portion of your screen or by going into the settings area of Prokeep. That's also where you can access our very valuable and helpful Knowledge Center or Help Center, where we have various articles and videos and so forth. And then we also have in our deck here, which again, we'll be sending out in an email to all attendees, a quick 11-minute training video on how best to use Prokeep, as well as a quick 5-minute video of some of the different best practices, all of which were discussed and shared during today's session, courtesy of Levante's insight and support. But with that, I appreciate everyone joining, and I hope you have a terrific rest of your Thursday. And Levante, thank you again for spending time with us today.
Yes, thank you. Thank you all.